Transition. Depression. I was really, really depressed. It started with the diagnosis and just the breakdown of my body during that time, because it's as if at that certain time of your life, when you hit MS, it just boom, like you could be, and then you're like, and that's what happened. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, really quick. I mean, just had gotten married. Before that, my grandmother had passed away, so she never got to be alive when I was diagnosed, which I'm very thankful for, because honestly, it would have killed her to see me like that. And at that point, I was bedridden. Like, my bathroom in my apartment where we lived at that time was basically me being here, and the bathroom was back there. Maybe a little farther, maybe a good 5-10 feet farther. But the struggle to get there, based on my disease, I had to basically be at the point of wetting myself in order to be able to get up, because it was just so hard. The immense vertigo that I had suffered at the beginning stages of this. I'm not saying anybody who gets MS gets it like that, but that's how my body reacted. And what is vertigo? For people who don't know, it's dizziness. But my best way is to show you, like, just imagine, your head spinning. But the vertigo I had was my head was spinning, my eyes were closed, I'm in this fog of darkness that I'm in right now, but it was still spinning. Whereas, when you close your eyes, you feel like a calm fog. My head was spinning. It was still spinning within this fog. I was amazed at it, and I was angry because of it. But I was also depressed because nobody knows, nobody knew, and it was hard to describe while I was in it. And people were frustrated, like, what's wrong? How do you feel? How is it? How are you dealing with it? And they couldn't understand. And they just kept asking clinical questions, like, based on what they saw. And I was like, no, it's not that, it's this. And they were frustrated, and I got frustrated, and I became depressed because I felt like I wasn't giving them what they wanted, so they couldn't give me what I needed. And then came the depression of being in the marriage, where I felt like I failed him. Before I was this vibrant, energetic person, and then because of this, I'm bedridden, and you're basically forced to take care of me. For how long? I don't know. Like I said, my parents really were just being, they're married, she's an adult, leave them alone. And they didn't know. They didn't know, so I can't blame them on that. And I don't. They just respected our marriage. I just hated being helpless. And the fact that I wasn't helpless to the point where I constantly needed to be in a hospital at that time, that was even more frustrating. Whereas, I'm just dizzy. I'm just, unable to walk. Whereas if you're in a hospital, there's obviously something a little bit more wrong, and somebody's there to take care of you. This wasn't that case. So that frustrated me more and depressed me more, because people were like, well, you're not that sick, so get up. They didn't say it, but you can get a feeling that some people were saying it. And it turned out it was me. You're not that sick. You can do this. But I had to admit to myself I was. It gets frustrating for me, and I get depressed sometimes when I'm sitting here and I realize I can't do what I like to do or what I used to do. But anyway, enough of my sickness, my depression through the marriage. Like I said, my marriage had ended, and we were going through a separation, and I was trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? Why me? Why am I being alone? Why can't I die? Why won't I die? Why won't the spinning stop? Spinning in my head, why won't it stop? Why? Why me? And that's what the depression is caused. You just, why won't somebody love me? Will somebody love me? I wouldn't love me, And you basically hate yourself, and you blame yourself, and that's what I did. I blamed myself. And I began to really hate myself. And you do things to punish yourself, and that's what I did. I didn't take drugs, I didn't hit myself or harm myself in that way. I did things that were close, pretty bad. I ended up in counseling, and I ended up getting medication, and I ended up in some bad places. In here. I put myself in some pretty bad places. And that was a few years. And even after that, even when I thought I was fine, I still wasn't fine, and I even went deeper. And I didn't realize. And the thing was, I had told my dad one time, it's like, Dad, I was really depressed. He's like, I know. I was like, you knew? He's like, yeah, you can see it. You can only play it for so long. So that's my depression. Plus, don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to ask people about it. And until I got help, it was partially medication. Medication helped. But definitely talking it out and being honest about it. And listening to people talk to you, because not all the time it's your fault. Not very often it isn't your fault. And accepting the fact that it isn't your fault, that's even better. Like I said, get help. Talk to friends who support you and understand you and understand the situation. And if it turns out to be, if it was your fault, accept the blame, and it's acceptance and moving on. So that's depression. I'm so sorry that this may or may not have been helpful, because like I said, I had done a depression one which was way better, I think. And it was on my other phone that got lost. So I will try and do another one. But like I said, anytime you guys want to talk, I'm right here. Comment below. I'm on Facebook. Comment on Facebook. Let's talk about it. I'm here to help, because I was alone. You don't have to be right now. I'm right here. This is transition depression. So let's go for it. There's going to be another one coming up, and let me see what this one is. Guilt. We'll talk about that, because you do have it. I mean, I talked briefly within it, but this one, I'm going to go into more detail. So you guys, be strong and talk to me. Talk to your friends. Talk to whoever. Talk to God. Just get it out. That was the main thing that helped. I'll see you guys in the morning.